Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Welcome to the first of 3 informational webinars on the Children and Youth Resilience Challenge. Today, I'll be discussing what the Resilience Challenge is and how you can participate. Before I get started, I will walk through the agenda of what I'll be covering in today's informational webinar. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available and posted on the challenge.gov Resilience Challenge site. This webinar has live Spanish interpretation. To switch to the Spanish language channel, please click the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen and select Spanish. This webinar is also being live streamed on YouTube. If you experience technical issues, please send the hosts a message in the chat. I will start off with introductions so you can learn a little bit about the Resilience Challenge team and we can get to know a little about you. Next, I'll provide an overview of the Resilience Challenge, explaining the background and purpose of the Resilience Challenge, eligibility and submission requirements, and the structure and funding of the challenge. I will then do a deep dive into the specific elements of the proposal and the key questions you will want to answer in your submission. Then I'll talk about how the submissions will be scored. There will be time for a Q&A session at the end of the informational webinar. If you are watching our webinar on Zoom, please type questions in the Q&A box that you can see at the bottom of your screen. If you are watching on YouTube, please type your questions in the chat. In addition to answering questions at the end of the webinar, we will compile questions and post them as an FAQ document on the Resilience Challenge website. Please follow the Resilience Challenge page on challenge.gov in order to receive updates when new FAQs are posted. I want to start out by introducing myself. My name is Elena Schreier, and I use she, her pronouns. I am from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services here in Washington, D.C. I am here with you today as part of the Resilience Challenge team. The Resilience Challenge is a collaboration between multiple offices across the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services that work to support children and youth mental health, including the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, the Administration for Children and Families, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Planning and Evaluation, the National Institutes of Health, and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. The Resilience Challenge is also part of the President's Unity Agenda and Mental Health Strategy. We are so excited that you are here and are interested in learning more about the Resilience Challenge, especially today on Mental Health Action Day. Attending this informational webinar and learning about the challenge is a great way to take action and support your community. Now, we want to get to know a little bit about those of you on this webinar. I will launch 3 polling questions so we can get to know a little bit about you. Please respond to the 3 polling questions on Zoom or put your responses in the chat on YouTube. The first question is, what age group do you work with? You can choose early childhood for ages 0 to 5, school-age children, ages 5 to 12, adolescents age 13 to 17, or young adults age 18 to 24. And you can select all that apply. The second question is, have you applied for federal government funding before? Please choose yes or no. And the third question is, have you submitted to a federal prize challenge before? You can choose yes or no. I see so many responses coming in, and it's very exciting to see how many of you are here joining us today. I'll leave the poll open for just another 20 seconds or so. All right. This is very exciting. I will share the results very quickly. You can see a huge range, a really wide range of folks on this call today, serving a whole range of children and youth from early childhood all the way up through transition age adults. So it's really exciting to see how many of you are here today. I also see that many of you have experience with government funding before, and many of you do not. And we really welcome everybody here joining us. And that for many of you, this is your first experience with a federal prize challenge. All right. So moving on, I wanted to share our goals for today's informational webinar. We hope that you leave here today feeling enthusiastic and excited about the Resilience Challenge and feeling capable of submitting a proposal to the challenge. We also hope that you leave here today with an understanding of why HHS is hosting this challenge, what the requirements are, and understanding how you can ask questions of our team during the submission period between now and when submissions close on July 7th. From our polling questions earlier, we know that just a few of you have experience with prize challenges before, and more of you have experience with other federal funding. And many of you are new to federal funding opportunities across the board. We are so excited to see such a range of experience and want you all to feel welcome here. We chose a prize challenge for this opportunity because a prize is the best way for us to learn from the innovative things you are doing in your communities. Mental health and well-being is such an important issue, and prize challenges allow participants to bring more of their own creativity to solutions. We know there are so many ways to advance mental health and well-being and help children and youth thrive. A challenge is very different from a grant or a contract. In a grant or a contract, federal agencies generally receive proposals to do work and then pay out a monetary award incrementally as the work is done. In challenges, an agency generally selects a winner after assessing work that has already been completed. In a multi-phase challenge like this one, winners are selected progressively as the different phases are completed. In this challenge, prizes will be awarded based on the work that has been submitted in each phase. For example, as you will hear about shortly, Phase 1 winners will receive an award for the proposal that is submitted in Phase 1. Now we'll get started by walking you through a brief overview of the Resilience Challenge. What led the Department of Health and Human Services to create this opportunity, what the goals of the Resilience Challenge are, who is eligible, what the requirements are for submitting a proposal, how the challenge is structured, and what the prizes are. So why are we hosting a Children and Youth Resilience Challenge? Children and youth are experiencing a mental health crisis. A recent U.S. Surgeon General's advisory reports rising rates of psychological distress, including anxiety and depression among children and adolescents. Recent data from the CDC's Youth Risk Behavior Survey really emphasize that these concerning trends have been worsening over the years. As you can see on this slide, the red stop signs on the right-hand side of the image show that over the years, a greater percentage of high school students report experiencing mental health challenges like persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness and poor mental health. We also see rising rates of suicidal behaviors among youth. The impacts of the mental health crisis are also seen in healthcare settings, where emergency department visits for mental health concerns have increased significantly. The mental health crisis is not just affecting adolescents. Survey research also shows higher rates of internalizing and externalizing symptoms among very young children over the past few years. While mental health challenges among both young children and adolescents have existed for years, they were really intensified by the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 worsened existing trends and really highlighted the difficulties facing these children, youth, and their families. We know COVID-19 upended routines for children, youth, their families, and communities in really difficult ways. Many children experienced social isolation away from their friends and peers. Many missed important milestones like first days of school and graduations. Many children also experienced significant stress due to parental job loss or unemployment and the serious financial stressors that many families faced. Children and youth lost access to critical supports in their communities and in the environments where they spend most of their time. And many children also experienced the loss of close family members and friends due to COVID-19 related deaths. We also know these impacts weren't felt evenly across the country. We saw disproportionate impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic among children and youth in under-resourced communities, and among those children and youth experiencing racism and other structural injustices, further widening health inequities and disparities. But despite these alarming trends, we know children and adolescents are resilient and have the ability to adapt in the face of adversity. There is a real opportunity to build on the inherent strengths of children, youth, their families, and communities to support and build their resilience. Resilience helps to advance mental health and well-being and avoid negative mental health outcomes after adversity. Within this broad definition of resilience, we encourage your proposals to clearly define what resilience looks like in the context of your own community. So, given the need and the opportunity, the Children and Youth Resilience Challenge is intended to award prizes to innovative, community-led solutions to promote resilience, advance mental health and well-being, and reduce the risk for negative mental health outcomes in children and adolescents affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and other man-made or natural disasters. The goals of the Resilience Challenge are to, 1, promote positive strategies and solutions that help children and youth and their families and support systems to thrive. Our second goal is to identify and elevate promising practices that promote culturally and linguistically responsive protective factors to improve resilience that advance mental health and well-being. Our third goal is to support community-led innovation in promoting resilience among children, youth, and their families. Community-based settings have the promise to reach more people in the environments in which children and youth spend most of their time. And our fourth goal is to increase understanding of gaps and opportunities to promote resilience, especially in underserved communities. And finally, we aim to catalyze action through public-private partnerships that can help us to broaden impact, address local needs, and promote sustainability. So what do we mean when we say community-led? For the purposes of this challenge, we consider community-led solutions to be those identified and driven by members of the community who are experts in their own contexts, needs, and solutions. Communities are the experts here. We want to learn from you about the strategies and solutions that you are already using to advance the mental health and well-being of the children and youth in your communities. A community-led solution involves community members working together or in collaboration with other entities to identify goals, develop plans that build on community strengths, and then implement those plans to achieve their goals. Now, who is eligible to submit a proposal to the Resilience Challenge? The Resilience Challenge is open to a broad range of individuals and entities reflecting the community-based settings in which children and youth spend most of their time. This includes, but is not limited to, schools, early childhood settings, primary care providers, community-based organizations, advocacy organizations, tribal organizations, faith-based organizations, for-profit organizations or small businesses, youth-led organizations, or any other child or youth serving entity. Individuals are also eligible to enter. We strongly encourage proposals from community-based organizations serving children and youth, youth-led organizations, and teams that partner with community-based or youth-led organizations, because we believe that communities are best situated to understand the complex challenges confronting them and to build impactful solutions. We want to learn your solutions to promoting resilience across the full spectrum of childhood, adolescence, and emerging adulthood, including young children birth to age 5, school-age children, adolescents, and transition-aged youth to age 24. Participants are encouraged to consider the most appropriate age range for your solution, given your expertise and service array. We also strongly encourage proposals that advance equity for historically underserved communities. By underserved communities, we mean populations and communities that have been systematically denied a full opportunity to participate in aspects of economic, social, and civic life. Executive Order 13985 identifies the following as examples of underserved communities: Black, Latino, and Indigenous and Native American persons, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and other persons of color, members of religious minorities, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer persons, persons with disabilities, persons who live in rural areas, and persons otherwise adversely affected by persistent poverty or inequality. We believe that participants in this challenge are best equipped to identify, under this broad definition, the underserved communities they seek to empower and support as part of this challenge. Now I will walk you through the challenge structure. The Resilience Challenge will occur in multiple phases. Phase 1 is the proposal phase. In phase 1, you will submit a proposal describing your promising, innovative approach to building resilience among children and youth in your community. Submissions opened on May 4th and will close on July 7th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. To learn about the challenge and how to submit a proposal, we are hosting 3 informational webinars during the submission period. Today is the first webinar. The second webinar will be held on Tuesday, June 6th, and the third webinar will be held on Wednesday, June 21st. Finalists will be announced in late August 2023. Up to 14 finalists will be selected and will receive $25,000 each. Prizes will be paid in full to only one person or entity per proposal. If you are submitting a proposal as a team of multiple individuals, you should identify only one team lead who will be responsible for coordinating to facilitate and receive the payment. Phase 2 is the pilot phase. The 14 phase 1 finalists are encouraged to progress to phase 2, where they will pilot their proposals from approximately September 2023 through May 2024. During this period, finalists will have opportunities to receive technical assistance and mentorship to help them pilot their proposals. We will support and encourage phase 1 finalists to engage in cross-learning and information sharing to learn from each other and other experts, with the goal of enhancing your approach to strengthening resilience. At the end of phase 2, finalists will submit a report that outlines their findings. This report will be judged and scored. One grand prize winner of phase 2 will receive $300,000, and 2 runners-up will receive $175,000 each. At the end of the challenge, all finalists will be invited to present their innovations at an in-person summit in Washington, D.C. in summer 2024. We have funding available to cover summit travel costs for up to 2 persons per finalist proposal. Although the challenge will officially end in summer 2024, the grand prize and runners-up winners of the pilot phase will be offered technical assistance and mentorship to scale and implement their pilot projects. We will provide additional details about what this will look like at a later date. This is important. Prizes awarded under this challenge will be paid by electronic funds transfer and may be subject to federal income taxes. The HHS Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health will comply with the Internal Revenue Service withholding and reporting requirements where applicable. Please consult with an attorney, accountant, financial advisor, or other professional to understand the financial implications of a prize challenge. So now that we've covered the basics, we'll turn to the information you need for your submission. What materials do you need to submit to the Resilience Challenge? As you can see from this checklist, you will first need a challenge.gov account to submit your proposals. You can create a user account by going to challenge.gov. There are two required elements to your submission. You are required to submit a written proposal and a timeline. There are two additional elements that you may need to submit depending on your proposal. If you are partnering with an organization or entity in your proposal, you may need a letter of support from that organization or entity. If your team includes any individuals younger than age 18, you will also need a signed parental consent form for each individual under age 18. Now, turning to the proposal itself, I'll walk you through the key elements that you will want to address. And I'll start with the why. We want to know what need you are meeting in your community related to children and youth resilience. You will want to introduce your project, identify your community, and explain your definition of resilience in the context of your community. You will want to describe the need to build resilience among the children and youth in your community to respond to COVID-19 or other man-made or natural disasters. Next, you will want to cover the who. Who will benefit from your proposed activity? You will want to clearly describe who you aim to reach, including details as relevant, like the age and race or ethnicity of the children or youth who will be reached through your approach. You may want to include information about their incomes and insurance status, or whether they are from urban, rural, or tribal communities, among other relevant characteristics. You will want to tell us the number of children and youth who you anticipate will be enrolled in or reached through your proposed activity. And you will want to tell us the extent to which other community members or family members may be involved in your proposed approach. Next, you will want to cover the where. Where will your proposed activity take place? You will want to describe the location or setting where your proposed approach will occur. Will it be in a school, in a home, in the community, online? Are there any other settings involved? You will also want to describe the resources in the setting that will support your success. The what and the how are important substance for your proposal. You will want to clearly describe your approach to promoting resilience. What will you be doing, and why will it be effective? As you are describing your approach, you might also need to address the when. When will these activities occur during the phase 2 time period of September 2023 to May 2024, which I'll cover at a later time when I talk about the timeline. You will also want to describe how your approach is innovative and uniquely addresses the needs of your community. You will want to address how your approach will benefit participants in their community. What outcomes do you anticipate? You will want to address how your approach will advance equity for underserved communities. You will want to describe how phase 1 prize funds could support the implementation of your proposed approach. And you will want to describe your approach to continuing or sustaining the work after the challenge is over. On the last slide, we talked about the anticipated outcomes, or how your approach will benefit participants. In the data section, you will want to explain how you will know your approach has been successful. You will want to describe any data that helped you to understand the need to build resilience in your community. You will want to clearly describe the outcomes you will be measuring, or how you will know you are building resilience and identifying preliminary evidence of positive impact. You will also want to describe how you will collect and analyze data and assess how you are monitoring the delivery of your approach. And you will need to describe your approach to ensuring confidentiality as appropriate. Finally, you will need to address your team. As we've shared, this challenge is intended to be community-led, and we strongly encourage proposals that demonstrate a commitment to engaging youth and families in the development of the proposal or in an advisory capacity throughout the challenge. In this section, you will want to tell us about your organization, its size, and the community it serves. You will want to describe how your team fits into that community. What is the relationship of your team to the community where the proposed work is being done? How has the community contributed to the proposal, and how will they be involved in the approach? You will want to be specific about any partnerships, including the specific roles of each partner. You will want to describe the capabilities of your team, including the expertise and experience that will increase the likelihood that your proposal will be successful. Describe the resources your organization and team has that will enable success. And you will also want to describe any gaps or limitations that you might have in your team's ability to implement your proposal. What are the requirements for the proposal? The proposal should be 3 to 5 pages long, single-spaced. We have provided suggested page lengths for each section, but these are not requirements. It is most important that you make sure you are clearly explaining each element within the 3 to 5 pages. As we mentioned earlier, we also want to know when your activities will take place. You must also submit a timeline that highlights when your proposed activities will occur and identifies any key milestones. We do not have a recommended format for a timeline, but it could look something like this, with dates along the top representing the Phase 2 timeline from September 2023 to May 2024, and activities along the side with check marks or X's to indicate when each activity will occur. You also need to include letters of support from any appropriate entities or partners, depending on your proposal. If you have team members younger than age 18, you also need a signed parental consent form for each individual under age 18. That is available in the Resources tab on the Challenge website. These materials, the timeline, letters of support, and parental consent forms do not count towards the 3 to 5 page limit. So now that I've walked through each element of the proposal, we want to do a quick check-in with a polling question. Please select yes or no in response to the following question. I have a clear understanding of what a successful proposal might look like. Give it about another 20 seconds or so. And still see some responses coming in. If you're watching on YouTube, you can please feel free to type your response into the chat. Excellent. I'm so glad to see that so many of you have a clear understanding of what information needs to be in a proposal. There are multiple opportunities during the submission period to get your remaining questions answered. Please continue to submit questions in the Q&A box, and we will have time at the end of today's webinar to answer questions. We will be answering additional questions at the next 2 webinars on June 6th and June 21st, and we'll be posting FAQ documents on the Resilience Challenge site on challenge.gov. Please be sure to follow the challenge to receive notifications when the FAQs are posted. Now we will turn to how proposals will be scored. Proposals will be judged across these 5 categories: understanding your community need, the intervention approach, the intervention impact and sustainability, innovation and equity, and partnerships. Proposals will be scored out of a total of 30 points. Now I will go through the specific criteria for each judging element. First, your proposals will be judged on the extent to which they demonstrate an understanding of the community need. This includes 3 criteria. First, proposals will be judged on the extent to which they demonstrate an understanding of the needs of children and youth affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and other disasters. Next, proposals will be judged on the extent to which they demonstrate the importance of building resilience through innovative community-led approaches. And proposals will also be judged on the extent to which they clearly define resilience. The second element on which proposals will be judged is the approach. Here, we will be assessing the activities that are being proposed and the extent to which they are feasible. Proposals will be judged on the extent to which they demonstrate the knowledge, experience, and capacity to fully implement the proposed plan. Proposals will also be judged on the extent to which they show how the participant will implement specific action steps to accomplish their goals. And proposals will be judged on the extent to which the proposal demonstrates a clear plan to capture baseline data and show improvement in the identified outcomes. The third element is impact and sustainability. Here, we will be assessing the likelihood that what is being proposed will be effective and be sustained. Proposals will be judged on the extent to which they provide a clear picture of how the approach will build resilience in children and youth. Proposals will also be judged on the extent to which the data collection or analysis process will enable the project to identify preliminary evidence of positive impact, and the extent to which the proposed approach is likely to build resilience in children and youth. The proposals will also be judged on the likelihood that activities and impacts can be sustained. The fourth element is innovation and equity. Proposals will be judged on whether the approach focuses on children and youth from historically underserved communities and the extent to which the proposed approach would advance equity for underserved communities. Proposals will also be judged on the extent to which the approach is innovative or is proposing an approach not well represented in this area. And the last judging element is partnerships. This element reflects the Resilience Challenge's commitment to community-led solutions. Proposals will be judged on the extent to which they integrate child, youth, family, or community voice in the design and implementation of the approach. Proposals will also be judged on the extent to which they integrate partnerships within the community. Proposals will be judged on the extent to which the proposed partnerships are sustainable after the challenge is complete. To submit your proposal, you will need to create an account on challenge.gov. We have included step-by-step information on the Resilience Challenge site. More detail and a walkthrough of challenge.gov will be coming in webinar 2 on June 6th. We have 2 additional webinars scheduled. The next webinar will take place on Tuesday, June 6th from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The third webinar will take place on Wednesday, June 21st from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now we have 3 additional polling questions to get a sense for where we are. The first question is, I have a clear understanding of my next steps. Please answer yes or no. The second question is, which elements of the challenge would you like more detail on in future webinars? Please select all that apply. And the third question is, are you planning to attend webinar 2? I see many responses coming in. Give it another 20 seconds or so as folks continue to respond. If you're watching on YouTube, please provide your responses in the chat. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. It's great to see that so many of you have a clear understanding of what your next steps are, and that so many of you are planning to attend webinar 2. Your responses to question number 2 about the elements of the challenge you would like more detail on will help inform the content of webinars 2 and 3. So we thank you for your feedback here. Questions that were not able to be answered live today will be compiled and posted in an FAQ page to the Resilience Challenge website. We will also be answering additional questions at upcoming webinars. You can also submit questions to us on the Contact tab on the Resilience Challenge page on challenge.gov or via email at resilienchallenge@hhs.gov. Before we switch over to our Q&A, I wanted to briefly introduce my colleagues from the Resilience Challenge team who have been gathering your questions throughout the webinar. Now they will read some of the common questions out loud. Answers to questions we are unable to respond to today will be compiled on an FAQ page and posted on the Resilience Challenge site. Please follow the Resilience Challenge on challenge.gov to be notified when FAQs are posted. So right now, I'll open it up to my colleagues, Lauren and Lizzie, my co-chairs on this event, to unmute themselves and share some of the questions.
Hi, Elena. We've been getting a lot of questions about the slides and the recording being shared after this and where people can access those documents.
Great. Thank you so much for that question. Yes, slides and a recording will be made available after the webinar. They will be available on the Resilience Challenge FAQ page on the Resilience Challenge site. And I think we can post the link to that page directly in the chat.
Great, Elena, and I have another question for you, which is a lot of folks are interested about who is eligible to submit a proposal.
That's great. The challenge is open to a broad range of individuals and entities that reflect the communities and settings in which children and youth ages birth to 24 spend most of their time. We strongly encourage proposals from community-based organizations serving children and youth, youth-led organizations, and teams that partner with community-based or youth-led organizations. We also strongly encourage proposals that advance equity for historically underserved communities. You can see the challenge page for the specific eligibility rules and a list of just some of the settings that may be appropriate for this challenge.
Another question we're getting a lot of is, what is the age range for children and youth?
That's a great question. Proposals can range across the full spectrum of childhood, adolescence, and emerging adulthood. So proposals could be tailored to young children birth to age 5, school-age children, adolescents, and transition-age youth to age 24. Participants are encouraged to consider the most appropriate age range for your individual proposal, given your expertise, the needs of your community, and your service array.
Elena, what does it mean to be community-led?
That's another great question. This is a very important element for the Resilience Challenge. We consider community-led solutions to be those identified and driven by members of the community who are experts in their own contexts, needs, and solutions. A community-led solution involves community members working together or in collaboration to identify goals, develop plans that build on those community strengths, and then implement their plans to achieve goals.
Great. And for the purposes of this, how are we defining resilience?
Another great question. Resilience is defined as the ability to adapt in the face of adversity. But within that broad definition, we encourage teams to clearly define resilience in the context of your own community needs.
All right, this might be a longer one. Elena, can you explain the difference between phases 1 and 2?
Yes, definitely. Glad to clarify that. Phase 1 is the proposal phase. So in this phase, participants will submit a proposal describing their promising, innovative approach to building resilience among children and youth in their communities. The proposal phase will be open to submissions until July 7th at 11:59 Eastern Daylight Time. And then up to 14 finalists will be selected as winners of the proposal phase. Phase 2, the second phase, is the pilot phase. The 14 finalists from phase 1 are encouraged to progress to the pilot phase. And during this phase, the finalists will pilot their proposals. So basically do what they proposed to do from approximately September 2023 through May 2024. At the end of phase 2, finalists will submit a report outlining their findings, and a grand prize winner and 2 runners-up will be selected in summer 2024.
Great. We're getting a lot of questions about are existing programs or approaches eligible for the challenge? So I just want to clarify real quick that there is nothing in the challenge to suggest that individuals or entities cannot submit existing or innovative programs or approaches that are already underway. Proposals will be judged on the extent to which the participant demonstrates that their approach is innovative or not well represented in this area. To clarify, just because we've gotten several questions in this space, you do not need to create a new community-led solution to be eligible for this prize challenge. However, you may create a new community-led solution to be eligible for this prize challenge.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yes, and then another clarifying question, if you could just revisit and go over, is how much are the prizes in terms of dollars?
Yeah, thank you. Winners of phase 1, so up to 14 individuals or teams or proposals, will receive $25,000 each. At the end of the pilot phase, phase 2, from the 14 finalists from phase 1, 1 grand prize winner will receive $300,000 and 2 runners up will each receive $175,000.
Elena, as you saw, a lot of folks are new to challenges and many are more used to either federal grants or contracts. And so we've received a couple questions of folks asking just what is a prize?
That is a great question, especially for those of you who prize challenges are new to. A prize is a cash award. So winners in this challenge are selected based on work that has been completed. So phase 1 winners will receive $25,000 as an award for the proposal they submitted in phase 1. And just as a reminder, prizes are the best way for the government to learn about the innovative solutions that are happening in your communities.
Great. And can you revisit when are the proposals due? The first the due date for proposals, please.
Yes, the phase 1 proposals are due on July 7th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
And when will we announce the phase 1 finalists?
The finalists, so the winners of phase 1 will be announced in late August of 2023.
Can you just revisit and go over again what is required in the submission? And also, as you're doing that, include a link for people to also reference some written materials.
Great. Yes, thank you. Submissions require a 3 to 5 page written proposal and a timeline. To submit that, you'll also need a challenge.gov account. And depending on your proposal, you may also need to submit letters of support from partner organizations or entities and parental consent forms if your team includes individuals younger than age 18. The additional detail, as Lauren just posted in the chat about how to enter, can be found on the challenge.gov site. And again, the proposal should be 3 to 5 pages, single-spaced.
You just answered our next question, so perfect. So I'm going to skip to our next question, which is who needs to submit a parental consent form?
Yes,
and where can we find it?
Very important. So if you have a member of your Resilience Challenge team who is under the age of 18, so younger than 18, you need to submit a parental consent form for each individual under age 18.
And you talked a little bit about letters of support. Can you, in addition to the parental consent form, can you talk just a little bit about letters of support?
Sure. So if through your proposal, you are partnering with an organization or an entity to complete your proposed work or as part of your team, please include a letter of support from that organization or entity.
Back to the proposal, Elena, can you go over one more time what the proposal should include?
Yep, absolutely. So the proposal should include a few different elements that are clearly explained on the challenge website. But it should include a brief introduction, a description of the population your proposal is designed to reach, so the who that we talked about earlier, the setting in which the intervention or approach will occur, or the where that we talked about earlier, a description of your approach to promoting resilience, so the what and the how, information about your data, and information about your team.
Great. And how will they be scored? You talked a little bit about that, but if you could just revisit that a little bit more, that would be helpful. We're getting lots of questions.
Sure. So proposals will be judged based on how well the proposal describes 5 different elements. So the first element is understanding community need. The second element is the intervention approach. The third element is the intervention impact and sustainability. The fourth element is innovation and equity. And the fifth element is partnerships. And again, all of that information can be found on the challenge.gov Resilience Challenge site. We'll also be discussing this again on the next informational webinar on Tuesday, June 6th.
Where do folks submit their proposal?
Yes, this is a very important piece. To submit your proposal, you need to create an account on challenge.gov. We've provided step-by-step information on how to do that on the Resilience Challenge site, and we'll also be doing a walkthrough of how to do that at the next webinar on June 6th.
All right, can you remind everyone again about the additional webinars that we'll be hosting?
Yes, our next webinar will be held on Tuesday, June 6th at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can register for that webinar. We have the registration links available, and I think we'll post those in the chat. And then the final webinar will be on Wednesday, June 21st from 7 to 8 p.m. for those of you on different time zones and who have work obligations. And you can also register for that webinar already, and we should be able to share the registration link in the chat for that one.
And Elena, will those also be recorded, and will the materials be posted up for those in case people can't make them?
Yes, all 3 webinars will be recorded and posted on the Resilience Challenge site, and materials will be available there. And we'll also, after webinars 1 and 2, be posting FAQ documents on the site as well. So again, a reminder to please follow the Resilience Challenge page on challenge.gov to receive updates when a new material is posted.
Elena, we're getting lots and lots of questions, and I know we're running low on time. So can you just reiterate for folks what we're going to do with all of the questions we get today and don't have time for?
Yes, absolutely. So answers to questions that we're not able to respond to today will be compiled on the FAQ page on the challenge.gov Resilience Challenge site. We'll be sure to send an announcement out to those following the Resilience Challenge so that you can be notified when those FAQs are posted. You can also plan to attend webinar 2 and webinar 3, where we will be able to answer more of the questions that we weren't able to get to today. And just very quickly before we wrap up, we have just 2 more poll questions that I will launch right now. The first question is, I am planning to submit a proposal. And the second question is, I feel capable of submitting a proposal to the Resilience Challenge. Give it about another 20 seconds. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to put your responses in the chat on YouTube. Still see a bunch of responses coming in. All right, I'm going to end the poll. And it is, I have to say, just so exciting to see how many of you are planning to submit a proposal. We are so excited to learn about your innovations and to really work in partnership to support resilience among children and youth in your communities, and are equally glad to see how many of you feel capable of submitting a proposal. We'll look forward to providing more information on the challenge in future webinars. So we just wanted to thank you for spending your time with us this afternoon and for learning about the Resilience Challenge. We look forward to seeing you at our next webinar on Tuesday, June 6th. And again, please follow the Resilience Challenge on challenge.gov to receive updates. Thank you very much and have a good rest of your afternoon or day.